What is up, kings and queens? Welcome back to Bad Habits Kingdom. I know it's been a minute. Been a minute. I do apologize, guys. It's been a long time. We've been doing a lot of vlogs lately and recording, so I am so sorry. It's been a while since we actually did a live recording on the podcast, but we got a lot going on. Got some new information too. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this down right here. We got some new information, which is really exciting. Of course, the transcripts. I know you guys already seen that about the case with Keegan Klein's interview with the police. I was reading those earlier, and I really don't know what to think about them as of right now. It's one of those things where it's like, man, have you ever been in situations where you want it to be true so bad and you want it to be the person, but you just need a little bit more? That's kind of what I want. You know what I mean? At least with this situation, because it made me think for sure it was him for a second, then it was his dad, and then back to him. Like, honestly, it's going both ways right now. I really truly believe somehow he is involved in this, but it just need a little bit more. But as I said earlier in the year, I do believe that this case is going to be coming to an end very, very soon. I don't know why I believe that, but for some reason, I think within the next month or two, it's going to come to an end. I know that seems quick because we all been waiting 5 years for this case to end. I believe within the next month or two, it's going to end, guys. And I really hope I'm right on this. It's been 5 years. The family has been waiting more than anyone. They've been wanting to get this case solved for a long time, and I hope in their honor, it can get solved and get the family some justice. It's been a long time since I did a live video. A little nervous, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Who do we got? Lady M, how you been? I hope everybody's doing okay. Duke, what's up? I switch back thinking it's Keegan. Right. I hope everybody's safe and having a great year so far. Can't believe it's already almost April. This is ridiculous. Thank you for all of those who wished me a happy birthday on March 15th. And that was really awesome of you guys to wish me a happy birthday. I really was like, wow, I can't believe how many people are wishing me a happy birthday. And we shot a lot of vlog videos on my birthday, which is basically me hating the fact that I was turning 34. I can't wait to get those uploaded and edited and released for you guys so you guys can get a good laugh at all of it. All is well. Thank you. All right, Lady M. So we're going to get into a little bit about the Delphi case, of course, hoping this case comes to an end very, very soon. But what have you guys been thinking so far about the transcripts that have been released? If you guys have seen those, I'm sure you guys have, because I know you guys are very much involved in this case as I am. And, what do you guys think so far? That's why we're doing live tonight, just so I can get your guys' feedback on what you think about it. Where do you think this is going to go? We the same age, bro. Duke, I hate the fact that I'm 34. Honestly, it was my day off on my birthday, and I was really pissed off the fact that I was 34. Horrible birthday. My queen and I went to see the movie, The Batman. I lost about $40 at roulette. Actually, $80 at roulette. I was just in a bad mood, honestly. But I did go prank Floyd Mayweather's gym, which was fun to do. I wish the video would have turned out a little bit better, but if you guys seen that video, it was a lot of fun that we did that night. Excuse me. So how are you guys feeling about these transcripts? What do you guys think now that they've been released? If you notice, the police weren't too worried about them getting released. You guys know how they keep things close to the chest. They don't like things getting out there, but they weren't too worried about these. Just so you guys know, this is only nicotine. It's not marijuana. I'm trying to quit smoking cigarettes, and I guess you could say I quit smoking cigarettes because I started smoking these. Right, let's see what we got. Lady, queen, pray all is well on your side of the planet. Thank you so much. Keegan, yeah. All is well. Thank you. I think they were behind it. You think that they were behind the murders. Okay, the Kleins, the mom and dad, the son and father duo, I think you're right. I think there's something there for sure. What I wish is when he was out here in Vegas, I knew about it. That's what I wish. because I saw on some of the things they were talking about, on some of the questions, they were talking about him being out here in Vegas and working for a marijuana company where he delivered marijuana and stuff. I wish to God I knew he was out here and who he was at the time. I mean, it wouldn't have been hard to find him. Vegas is a really small place. You know, everybody thinks Vegas is this big old city and stuff, and it is, but outside the strip, there's really nothing there. You know, there's really, really nothing. You know, it's all just houses and townhomes and apartments and stuff like that. It's nothing outside the strip. No police leaking the documents. Yeah, I mean, they weren't too worried about it. You know, oh, the police were leaking the documents. You think that they were like helping with that? Possible, definitely very possible. Maybe they wanted them leak. You guys heard me say before that Keegan's dad was the main person I was looking at since I first saw the photo of Keegan and his father. When I first saw the photo, which is the thumbnail for this video, when I first saw that original photo, I don't know what it was. And I know we talked about this before, but there was something about his dad that just was off. And I talked to my queen about it. At first, she was kind of hesitant, like, well, it's his dad, you know, what would he be involved for? You know, I mean, they're looking at him. And I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about his dad that rubs me wrong. I don't know what it is. Just his photo. I just don't like the guy's photo, I guess. I don't know. And then she started looking into it a little bit more, and she's like, I think you're right. You know, I think he definitely might be involved on, you know, talking to little girls with his son. Maybe he talks to little girls as well, and him and his son don't know about it. Maybe there's something there. So I started doing a little bit more research on his father, and then that's when we did the video about me saying, yes, I really believe it could be him. You know, he's got the weight, he got the height. I mean, everything. When I see Bridge Guy and then I look at Klein's father, I'm like, that's definitely a comparison. I think that could be a match. Now, we try to zoom in 100 times on the face of Bridge Guy, of course. I know we've done that multiple times. I know you guys done that multiple times, and there's just nothing we can do to get a clear picture. But for some reason, I really think this might be going somewhere. I really hope it does. I think the Kleins definitely earned some interest. Now, I did see the questions where the police were asking Keegan. Keegan, I think, responded back saying, do you guys think I know who the person who did this? And the detective said, absolutely. And then he told the cop, you're really bad at your job, sir. You know, and he goes, oh, yeah, well, you failed the lie detector test when we asked you those questions. And he goes, well, people fail those things all the time. That's why they can't be used in court. You know, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things. I had a horrible feeling when I saw Tony's pic. I think they filmed a snuff video and sold it in Vegas. So, exactly. You know, I had the same feeling. There was something odd about his picture, and I don't know what it was when you first see it. And I'm happy you said that. Kaylee, is that how you say your name? Is it Kaylee? Callie? I could be wrong on that. I do apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I had the same exact experience though. Like, for some reason, when I saw his photo, and we talked about this, guys, when we first did the video about Klein, I said there's something up with the guy's dad that is just weird. I don't know. I couldn't put my, you know, voice on it. I couldn't say what it was. There was just something odd about the guy. You know, something about his picture just pissed me off, you know, and it just was just so out there. And I mean, honestly, I think there might be some more involvement with his father than what we know about right now. I think the police are looking at him. I know you guys heard me say before that they should be looking at him. I'm sure they've been doing it all along. Now, the lie detector test. I kind of have to see it both ways on that because, you know, when I think about it, let's say if I had a brother. I don't have a brother, but let's say I had a brother and he was murdered, okay? The last person he's seen with was with me. Okay. Let's say I didn't murder him. I dropped him off at his house. He lives alone and all this stuff, right? Now, we're just hypothetical here. I get brought in for questioning, okay, because I was the last person to see him alive. He disappeared out of his apartment. I was the last one to be with him and stuff like that. You're automatically going to be the prime suspect, right? Well, if I get brought in for a lie detector test, no matter if I'm innocent or guilty, I'm going to be nervous. And that's just me thinking about it. Like, I'm like, well, even if you're not guilty of something, I know for a fact I would be nervous, but that's why they ask those baseline questions, I believe, to get you really calmed down. Now, is this your name? Um, is the year 2022? Is your shirt black? I think they ask you those things to really get an estimate, because multiple people are going to be really nervous when they got to do a lie detector test, especially when the police and people and everybody's looking at them as a suspect, because he's thinking in his mind, God, if I don't pass this, I'm going to go to prison for murder. That's what you're going to feel like and stuff, even if you're innocent. Now, it's easy to say, well, he should be able to pass the lie detector test if he's innocent, and I try to think of it. It might not be as easy, because I know I would be nervous. Like I said, I don't have a brother, but if something like that happened, if I'm being brought in for murder and I had nothing to do with it, I think in your mind, you would still be kind of nervous because you're being looked at as a possible suspect. But honestly, I think he failed his lie detector test, because I believe he does have some information if he actually wasn't the person involved in the killing. I think he was the last one to speak with Libby, apparently. I don't know if it's true, but I did see on the video today that he was supposed to meet up with her there and she didn't show up. I just saw a clip of the video. I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't see that in the transcript. I only got a little bit of it. Did you guys hear that too? That he was actually Keegan was supposed to meet Libby, or the account said to meet up with Libby there, and she never showed up. Have you guys heard about that? Because, honestly, it's just weird. Did you hear TK's voice? There's a video up on YouTube on his voice. No, I definitely will look it out, Duke. I'll check it out. Good. I am so nervous right now. I haven't done a live video. I'm getting my words all mixed up. I'll definitely check it out. Yes. Okay. I was worried I pronounced your name incorrectly. I'm happy I got it right. Sorry, I know we were talking about the Delphi case, but there's a girl by the name of Naomi that was kidnapped in your state about 2 weeks ago. She's 18. I think we heard about this one. I don't think it was in Vegas, though. I heard about this one. Where's my phone? Because every time there's a kidnapping, anytime there's a crime around my neighborhood, my phone gets an alert. But when it comes to kidnappings and stuff like this, my phone like blows up and stuff like that, because I'm worried, honestly, there's so many, I wouldn't say, there's so many bad things that happen at any moment of time, especially when we talk about cases like this and stuff. It's scary. It's scary situations. Out there, I have a little girl. I am terrified of when she grows up and goes to school, and, it's a scary situation. Or when my queen has to come home late, or my sister, or, family members or friends, coworkers that are even male, men and women, anything can happen at any situation, a moment of time, where it's just a dangerous thing, so I'm constantly getting alerts on my phone. But I think I know what you're talking about, but just not off the top of my head. But I did hear something that a kidnapping did happen recently out here. Sounds like TK, just my opinion. Yes, but she says she never showed up. Okay, so it did happen. Okay, so there was talk that apparently the account or Keegan was supposed to meet Libby out there the day of the murders, and she never showed up. Okay. Wow. If that is official, that is insane. That's it right there. That's got to give it to you on a platter. There was witnesses out there that only saw Bridge Guy. There was people out there. Come on. Come on. Come on. For real. That's a lot. Yes, that's in the transcripts. Okay. Oh my God. I wish I would have found that part in the transcripts. It was the transcript I was looking at was 154 pages, and I was trying to find the right stuff, but literally I was like, I already put my time on the live video back 10 minutes. I can't push it back until 9 p.m. So I was like, you know what? I'll just ask Bad Habit supporters. Let's see if they got the information. But yes, I am so happy. So he was supposed to meet Libby the day of the murders at the Monon High Bridge. Now, it was the Anthony Shots profile, right? And I think that's when it came out like, oh, the father could have had access to his accounts and everything like that. What are you guys thinking so far? What are you guys thinking? I mean, be straight up. I mean, we talked about this so many times. What are you guys thinking? I mean, it seems a little funny. It's coming down to the wire, you know. Tony's voice super high pitch, kind of like Mickey Mouse. So the father's voice is different than Bridge Guy. Because I haven't heard Tony Klein's voice yet, to be honest. I looked at his Facebook earlier today. I'm actually going to pull that up here in a minute. And I saw that he has like a bunch of photos with like NASCAR and hot rods, and it looked like a couple friends, him in a hospital bed, it looks like, and stuff. But, you know, I tried to see if there was a video on there at all, and I couldn't find anything. I left my last old Duke. Even Keegan Klein, half brother, said it sounded like Keegan Klein and not TK. Okay, so they're saying it sounded like Keegan. Okay, that's a high possibility, very high possibility. Now, one thing you are gonna do when, let's say, I'm trying to assume here, pretty much, like if I put myself in an interrogation, when you're getting questioned and stuff like that, and they're pretty much like, I know it's you. I know you lied in your polygraph test that showed that you lied. You were the last person that had contact with her, and you were supposed to meet her the day of the murders. He's going to do everything he can to put the blame either on somebody else. He's going to try to persuade the situation onto somebody. And I think in some of the questions that I saw, the cops were like, they already had the information. They already knew it. And they were trying to make it like he didn't do anything wrong type deal. Because at first it was like, I don't remember talking to her. I know I talked to one of her friends. I don't remember speaking to her. And then I think the detective was like, well, remember you said the girl was annoying and then you blocked her. And he said, yeah. Okay, you just said 2 seconds ago you don't remember. You remember speaking to one of her friends, but then the girl was annoying. Was the friend annoying, or was apparently Libby the annoying one? And then you remembered. So that's the way I got it when I was reading it. Like I said, I didn't get to read it a whole lot, but that's what I saw. You know, definitely. Sorry, I went ahead of it. Yes, definitely thought it was his brother's voice. Oh, we gotta look into that. Yes, the profile, it didn't specifically say where they were to meet up. He said he was supposed to meet her, but she didn't show up. So it didn't say at the Monon High Bridge. I thought it said at Monon High Bridge. That's what I thought it said. I thought they had to meet. They were going to meet at the Monon High Bridge. Oh my God, I'll double check to see where Naomi was taken from. Sorry about that, King. Oh, it's totally fine. It's okay. We'll definitely check it out. Just so you guys know, my queen is actually looking into a case that you guys probably know about. Here, I can show you all this. Look at this. I mean, when my queen gets onto something, she's been doing this with Delphi for the longest time, but she just got involved with the case that she's trying to help find out. So these are her notes. Like, she doesn't want to grab them. She's in the other room. These are her notes on the case. The girl's name. I'll tell you about the case here in 1 second. Look at this. This is insane. Look at this. These are all notes. I don't know if you guys can really see it. I'm all the way to the right. I'm telling you, when she gets onto something, she just don't let up. But I can't think of the girl's name off the top of my head, but there was a party where a girl apparently fell off a balcony, and her friends found her the next day, and apparently it was ruled an accident. But they're looking, people are trying to say it wasn't an accident, and that's the one she really got going. But you know, it's crazy when she gets started on something. But she will get into the Naomi kidnapping case. Kidnapping is so horrible, it's ridiculous. All right, so Keegan Klein, let's look at this, okay? So I wanted to share this real fast, and this is another YouTuber who did a video on this. I was trying to really picture his voice. I was trying to look at his voice really well and trying to get, you know, pretty much analyze it as best as I can. I'm not a professional analyzer, you know, and I don't mean to take other people's content, so let me just do short videos.
Done everything they wanted me to.
In December, Delphi investigators announced that catfish account Anthony Schatz was active on Instagram and Snapchat in 2016 and 2017. And they asked for anyone who interacted with that profile to come forward. But more than a year ago, then 26-year-old Kegan Kline admitted to investigators that he was behind the fake profile and that he used it to ask young girls for nude pictures and videos. Tell me about Anthony Schatz. Why did you create that profile?
I don't really know. I was just lonely, you know what I mean?
I hate that. Right there. Lonely? Are you freaking kidding me? You were lonely? So you made up a fake profile to talk to little girls? Shut up, man. You're a pervert. That pisses me off. All right, let's go.
Just talking to people. I don't know why I did it, really.
And were you ever trying to meet these girls in real life that you were talking to?
No, never.
Just 11 days after the murders of Abby and Libby, task force investigators served a search warrant on the home that Kegan shared with his dad. At the time, the FBI told the Lafayette Journal and Courier they found nothing to indicate a connection to the Delphi case. Kegan's electronics were confiscated then, but he wasn't arrested until 3 years later. He's now facing 30 counts of child pornography and child solicitation in Miami County, Indiana, unrelated to the Delphi murders. He says, though, that Indiana State Police told him Anthony Schatz had been communicating with Libby before her murder. So why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
And then she shows up at the bridge and they're abducted and later found dead.
Right.
And that was not you?
No, 100% not.
Kegan says he has no memory or knowledge of communicating with Libby, and investigators haven't confirmed if what he says is true. Do you think you're going to be charged with anything related to Abby and Libby's murder?
No, I don't.
So the state police haven't threatened that?
No.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that he's got other inmates around him. Hold on, let's stop that. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right. I was at my house. They have my GPS locations and everything. Sure. Guys, you know I like to do videos with my sunglasses on, but I got to get my reading glasses, or my real glasses, not my reading glasses, just so I can see this. I hate doing videos without my sunglasses. All right. So Anthony Schatz was communicating with Libby. That's what they say. Was that you? That was oh, this isn't the. I thought this was the investigation one. This is the. Okay, yeah, it's been cutting out. Sorry. Oh, you're fine. So do you remember the night of Friday, the night of the 13th, the night the girls went missing? Do you remember communicating with Kelsey German? No, I don't. Has anybody else had access to the Anthony Schatz account? I mean, information. I lived with my dad, but I don't know. So right here, he's already trying to put it on his dad, that his dad's a possible person that can get involved in something like this. Now, for you to say basically even bring your dad up and putting attention on him in this kind of situation, that's kind of saying something, because then you're saying your father is, is capable of doing something like this. So why would you say that? I mean, I don't know. That just makes me question it right there. Okay, I lived with my dad. Okay. Do you think your dad could have been accessing that profile? Yes, I do. So he is saying that his dad could be accessing the profile. So basically, he's putting it on his dad right now, saying that, it's definitely possible his dad could be talking to little girls on that profile. Do you think that your dad could have been involved? No. I, it's like he's trying to confuse the situation or something. What happened to Abby and Libby? Basically, it could be involved what happened to Abby and Libby. He said, no, because I was with him that day. So were you both home in Peru, Indiana? Yeah. I lived with him. Okay. This guy's just so nasty. Both of them. Okay, so the person lived there. So you guys had all access to this. Yeah, right, yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading this to myself. I'm really trying to put my finger on this thing. What I don't understand is like it's been 5 years, honestly, and this is something that they could have. I mean, honestly, they raided the house 2 weeks after the murders, even though apparently it was for something else, which is, we all know, BS. But to get here after 5 years, it just seems weird to me. I mean, I just don't get it. Because when he first heard about the case, didn't he say something like, I'm fucked? Excuse my language. I do apologize, YouTube. Don't get mad at me for that. But didn't he say that, and then was trying to leave town, and he was going to wait to leave town when his dad was asleep? Have you guys heard anything like that at all? What they said. That's what the police. All right. And so did you? Are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby on the 13th? That's what the police said. That's what the police told me that you did. Yeah. And do you have any recollection? No. Okay. Well, you would definitely remember that kind of situation. I mean, the name itself, I mean, Libby German, that's German, I would say it's a popular name, but Libby, I've never met anyone named Libby before. I mean, that name would definitely ring a bell if you saw it on the news, and this case has been viral since it happened, so him not remembering talking to her, I just call BS on that. I mean, even though it was 5 years ago, you would still be aware, especially when you live in Indiana. I mean, this is where the case is home. Yeah, it's in Delphi, but Peru's not far away. Because I was like, give me a polygraph test, DNA, whatever you want, I'll do anything. So that could be something, because I know if I was in that situation, I would offer everything I could to. I'd say, man, you could take my blood, you could take my spit, you could take my hair, you could give me a lie detector test, do whatever we need to do to get my name cleared of this. So, but it could be him trying to make it look like, not to look at me too. I'll give you whatever you want. It's not me. Because you got to remember, he failed the lie detector test. And if they took some of his hair, and if they have DNA, how would it have not popped up? If they have DNA. Investigators been talking about Delphi. Okay. Have you been to Delphi? No. I was in Delphi in high school for a football game. That's the only time I've ever been to Delphi. I personally do not know how far Peru is from Delphi. I think it's like an hour, if that. So, I mean, it's possible. The last time I was in Laughlin, Nevada was, I was like 14, but so that was 20 years ago. Wow, 20 years ago. Wow, that's crazy to say. I was 14 20 years ago. That's insane to me. Okay, we're not talking about my age right now. Have you ever been out to Monon High Bridge? I have no clue where it even is. Okay, I couldn't even tell you how to get to Delphi. I don't buy that either. I do not buy that. All right, so let's talk about this for a minute, guys. So I don't know how far Peru is from Delphi. I truly don't. But You guys already know what we're about to do. We're going to bring it up. I was thinking about some things lately, and I've been watching videos, as, of course, always have. Now, I know the police that we talked about before. The police were looking for the vehicle that was parked at the old CPS building. I'm really thinking the cemetery is definitely the biggest possibility. I really think the killer parked at the cemetery. You know, that's where I'm, you know, every time I look at this thing, that's where you would easily be able to get away from the murder scene. You know, what are you doing at the, you know, cemetery? Well, I'm visiting someone. It could be a loved one. It was Valentine's Day week. You know, it was a day before Valentine's Day. And it's right near the crime scene. I mean, easy getaway. I mean, that's gotta be where the killer parked. I could be wrong, 100% wrong. I'm just saying that's where I would think the killer parked at. Okay. Now, I do believe Abby and Libby were dropped off in this area. You know, the top right here. This is where they were dropped off. And I believe the down the hill part was probably around here in this area. You know, a lot of people think that it could have been right when they got off the bridge. I thought it was more down here, but I never been to Delphi. I never been to Monahan High Bridge. I don't know where the hill is. It could only be right here. I'm not sure. I know there was a red gate to block it off from private property. And that's what we know so far. Now, Peru, Indiana, we got to find out. I got to find out how far that is. That's where I'm thinking right now, that he parked at the cemetery. The only reason why I think that is because it's walking distance from the murder scene. And I still don't agree that the fact that the killer came back that night. Now, honestly, I gave these couples a shout out before. They do awesome YouTube videos when it comes to true crime. God, I can't even think of their name. I think it's called True Crime Recap, the YouTube video. And the guy is killer when he talks about the murder cases. And he did the Delphi case. When I saw him doing the Delphi case, I was like, this guy seems like a detective himself. But he truly believes that the killer came back at late at night. I disagree with that 100%. Now, I did hear, you know, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out the religious symbol that apparently was left behind. Now, I was watching, of course, my man, True Crime, Real Chill Grays, Real Chill Graz. Definitely check out his videos. He's amazing. We did a collab together. The guy's awesome. But I saw one of his videos where he said that he heard or was reading something that apparently the killer washed the girl's feet. That was the religious symbol. Now, I was trying to figure out how would he do that with the water that was close by? How far back was the girl's body found from the water? I don't know exactly. All I saw was the somewhat photos of the crime scene itself. Now, me personally, that would be a religious nature, of course, you know, washing the girl's feet. Here's one thing I truly believe to this day is that he was only looking for Libby. If the catfish story is confirmed and true, which it really looks like it is. I'm not sure he knew Abby was there 100%. But then again, you would let somebody know, I think, you know, hey, my friend's going to be with me, or hey, we're waiting here. You know, I'm not sure what the texts were, the communication were between Libby and that person. But I think she would have said Abby was going to be there. I still believe the killer had a gun. I believe that he has ties to Delphi somehow if he's not Klein's. But I think it is. I think Klein is definitely involved somehow. I really do. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sorry, guys. All right, me too. I think that was an exit point for the killer. Yes, thank you, Misty. I do believe the cemetery was definitely the way he got away, the way he entered. I think the killer was there a lot longer than the girls were. I think he probably arrived there probably around 10, maybe even 11 a.m. checking the place out. Could have even been earlier than that. He's about to commit a horrible crime. He knows he's going to commit this crime. He's out there feeding. You got to remember, when I first looked into this case, I thought it was random. I thought he was just trying to find somebody. He knew there were very few people were going to be out there, and he was just looking for the first woman he could find. And then he stumbled onto Abby and Libby, saw them, and then attacked them. Then I thought, you know what? Maybe they were targeted. Maybe they knew the family. Maybe they had issues with the family. Now, I'm talking about over a year ago when we first started looking into the case, before I found all this information and really digging into it. Back then, one of my supporters, I think it was like my first 100 subscribers, said the girls were catfish. Mark my words, the girls were catfish. And I totally blew it off. I said, there's no way, 13 and 14 years old, there's no way. These girls did not meet a guy online and go to meet him out there. BS. Not true. No way. You would never convince me to believe it. Then I was like, okay, smack me in my damn mouth, because I for sure now believe that is definitely a high possibility that the girls were catfished. Libby was catfished by a specific person to meet him, and he had horrible ideas. Son of a bitch. Bridge guy, if you ever see any of my videos, I just want you to know you're a fucking piece of shit. Excuse my language. I know I'm not supposed to cuss, guys, and I do apologize, but the guy he's a piece of shit. Harming 2 little girls who never harmed a soul, you son of a bitch. 47 miles driving from Peru to Delphi. Missy, thank you so much. So 47 miles, that's what? 60 miles takes about an hour. So what? Let's say 40, about 45 minutes. About that. 47 minutes, I guess you would say. So that's not far at all. So the towns around you. Okay, so that's like Vegas. I know if I went to take the 15 north, I'm going to head to Utah. I know if I take the 95 north, I'm going to be heading up north, more like to Indian Springs and Tonopah and stuff. I know if I went on the 95 south, I would be going towards like Laughlin and stuff like that. And I know if I hopped on the 15 south, I'm going to be heading to California, San Diego, Riverside, everything like that. Then if I'm going west, I'm heading towards Pahrump and then the other side of California and stuff like that. So you would definitely know how to get there, especially if it's an immediate city, which is only 47 minutes. Thank you, Misty, for letting me know that, because I had no idea. You know how to get there how to get to Delphi from Peru. You know where to go, especially when it's such a small area. You know how to get there. Come on, man. I mean, you're pathological liar. Didn't he even try to say he owned a marijuana club or something out here at one point in Vegas? Didn't he say that he owned I know he said he worked for one, but I think he tried to even say that he owned marijuana dispensary or something. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, washing the girl's feet might be something to throw off. LE. I know the Muslims washed the body of the deceased person after death. Maybe the killer did that just to throw off. LE. Definitely possible, Mike. It's definitely possible. I mean, I don't know if I don't think it's been confirmed that that's what happened, but I have heard that as the religious part of the crime scene. I heard there was 3 signatures left behind, and that one of them was religious form. I did hear about the district attorney at the time saying that this is probably one of the oddest crime scenes. All murder scenes are definitely very odd, but this one was more of an extremely odd. I heard there was a teddy bear left behind. I heard so many different theories. The only ones that really know for sure are the ones that found Abby and Libby, and the police themselves, of course, and detectives and the district attorneys and stuff like that. They did a great job, I gotta say, keeping this hush. I will say that, even though, yes, of course, me and everybody else wants more information, but I gotta say they did an excellent job on not releasing anything, or they just don't have it. I believe they have a lot of information, especially now, because I really truly believe this case is coming to an end very, very soon. I think he randomly saw them talking online, then they'd be there, not exactly set up a meeting. That's why he got there so early. That's possible too, Duke. That is you got to remember, there's so many possibilities. Everything is possible because we just really don't know. I believe within the next month or two, we will know. But I mean, that is definitely possible. I mean, it really is. You got to remember, I mean, this person definitely knew what he was doing. And that's the thing. Every time I see that video that Libby, thank God Libby did that video. I mean, thank God she knew, or they both knew, something was terribly wrong for her to take out her phone and start recording him. What I don't get is, why didn't he break the phone? Why didn't he throw it in the water? Why didn't he take it with him, or destroy the SIM card? You know what I mean? Why didn't the killer do that stuff? That's what I question. But 2 weeks before her murder, she does a phone factory reset. 2 weeks? I've had my phone for what, 5 years? I think I've done that twice. Ever. But 2 weeks prior to the murders, she does a factory reset. Did somebody convince her to do that? That's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. But apparently she was talking to him the day of, so, I mean, I don't know. True washing of the feet is also practice as well. Oh, see? I mean, that's something. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's been confirmed. That is something that I heard about. Sorry if you guys can hear me. I'm trying to adjust this. That is something I have heard. I'm not sure if it was 100% true or not, but that's what I saw on Real Chill's channel, the guy does some amazing videos. And I don't know exactly who told him that. I can't remember where he got that from, but I saw him, I think he was reading it, or it was on another video that he was watching. I can't remember. I think he was reading it, that someone else said that the religious form is where the killer washed the girl's feet. And I mean, that would make sense for the religious signature, definitely. But I mean, you would think in that situation, though, you just committed murder of 2 little girls. I mean, to go and wash their feet. I mean, he wasn't worried at all of anybody seeing him. He was not worried one bit. He was calm in his voice when he's telling them he has full control of the situation, right? He's calm as hell when he says, guys, down the hill. He's not in a hurry. He's not worried. He's not struggling. He doesn't have a care in the world at that moment. And then if he did wash their feet, he's not worrying about anyone seeing him. He's not worrying about somebody stumbling across them. He's not worried about someone seeing them from a distance. He wasn't worried about anybody hearing them. Because I truly believe at one point, and it's hard for me to say this, it really is, because it gives me goosebumps. I think the girls probably tried to fight back at one point. I think they tried to get away at one point. I don't know why I think that. It's just something I do. I think the girls tried to get away at one point. I think that's when Libby's shoe fell off. That's what I think. Okay, when Christian Aaron went missing in Reno. Yeah, I knew it wasn't in Vegas, but yeah, Reno, Nevada. She's been missing for 2 weeks now. They caught the suspect, but Naomi is still missing. That'll bring it up to help find her. I'll definitely check it out, see if I can spread the word on it. She's still missing. They caught the suspect. I'll tell you one thing. I mean, it's Reno, but Metro Police, they don't play around when they get you in that interrogation room. I mean, for real. I was watching the interrogation. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This crime. It happened a little over a year ago. His name was Amari Nicholson, and a little baby. I think it was 2 or 3 years old. And it happened here in Vegas. He was beaten to death by his mom's boyfriend. His mom, the little boy's mom, was in Arizona or Utah, I believe, visiting her mom, right? She breaks up with her boyfriend over the phone, who has a history of abuse. So I don't know why you would leave your little baby with him to begin with if he beats you and the baby before. She breaks up with him over the phone. The guy has anger management issues. The little baby ended up peeing himself. So the man beat the little baby to death. Then tried to hide his body across in the desert by like a McDonald's and stuff. This happened here in Vegas a little over a year ago. And I thought, how in the hell could you do this, right? I mean, you got to be sick. I hope he gets caught. And I saw him on the news and stuff, and everybody already knew. I mean, who pretty much did it. He had so many different stories and stuff. But what I'm getting at is I actually watched the interrogation that Metro did on him. I mean, yeah, he was acting like a Billy Badass when he beat that little baby to death, and he was acting like a Billy Badass when he got arrested, but he was crying like a little bitch when he was in that interrogation room, saying he was sorry. You're not sorry. You're not sorry. When you beat a baby to death, or when you kill 2 little innocent girls, or when you do anything stupid like that, you're not sorry. You're not sorry. You're sorry that you're going to go to prison for the rest of your life. You're sorry that you're going to go to the death row. That's what you're sorry about. You're not sorry that you did that. Abby and Libby were 2 innocent girls who went for a hike or who went to go meet somebody and stuff like that and didn't harm anybody in their lives. And they were brutally murdered by some prick who had nothing better to do that day, apparently. Murder 2 little girls for what? What did that do? What did that do? And you could tell in the tone of his voice and in the situation itself, he wasn't worried. He was calm and collect the entire time. That's why when I first looked into this case, I was like, this guy had to have done something like this before. He had to have. He had to have. You wouldn't be that calm in that kind of situation. Maybe he hasn't. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry I get emotional when it comes to this stuff, guys. But honestly, like, what is up? Why do stuff like this? I don't get it. I don't get how people can hurt each other. We're all supposed to be, we only got one shot at this life. We're supposed to be supporting each other, helping each other, caring for each other. That's how I look at it, at least. That's exactly how I look at life in general. I'm tired of racism. I'm tired of crime itself. I mean, I'm just tired of it. We're supposed to be helping each other and being there for one another. I mean, damn. So much, and people just killing and murdering innocent people for nothing, I think all the people involved in this horrible crime do everything possible, crime related to other murders, just to have LE confused. That's definitely possible, Mike. I mean, it really is. You never know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's situations. That the thing is like when it comes to this crime, I think there's more involved than we think, of course. But like, LE is definitely very smart. I'm not going to say he's intelligent, but he's been involved with this case a long. Thought I heard someone knock on my door. Sorry. He's been involved with this case a long time. I think they have a good idea on who it is. That's why I truly believe that this case is going to end soon. I really hope I'm right about that. But, when it's been 5 years, I shouldn't have said he's extremely smart, but I know he's extremely passionate when it comes to this case. When I think he's being very truthful when he says that he thinks about the girls every day and that he really wants to get this case solved and stuff. I think he's very, very honest about that. I think he does think about this case every day. I think he does think about those girls all the time, and he really wants to catch them. And them saying like they don't want to show their cards and stuff like that just seems a little odd to me, because I've seen a lot of press conferences and stuff where the police are releasing pretty much everything, trying to catch the killer, and they end up catching him no matter what they release. They're like, this is the guy, it's a sketch, this is what he looks like, this is his voice, this is how he talks, this is who we think he hangs out with. I mean, they do as much information as they can to get it out to the public and stuff like that. Yes, they'll get false, confessions, but that's why if they got the DNA they claim they have and fingerprints they say they have and hair samples they say they have, that would clear all that, the false confessions. They know how the girls were died. Apparently, they're the only ones. Me personally, I think the girls were stabbed. It's just a bad thing altogether. I'm lost washing feet. Lady M, if you're still with us, we were talking about washing the feet because that's one of the signatures that I heard about. There was 3 signatures left at Abby and Libby's crime scene, and one of them was a religious form, and that one of the religious form was that the killer actually washed the girl's feet before he left the crime scene. That was the religious signature that he left behind. Yeah, it's crazy. Cheyenne would have literally been able to see or hear something. She was on the bridge. Yeah, Cheyenne and Cheryl. Cheyenne and Cheryl were both right there, right? I think it was both of them together right there on the bridge. They were on the bridge together. Here, let's pull that back up. Let's pull that back up. Okay, so we're right here. Let me, sorry about that, guys. I don't know if you guys can see my arrow when I point it out, but so here's the bridge. Okay, so Abby and Libby's murder scene was around this area, right? Right in here. I don't know if you guys can see the arrow, but it was around this area. All this area. Cheyenne and Cheryl were around here, apparently at the time of the murders taking place. Okay. Apparently they were right here. The only person they said they saw that day was flannel shirt guy who was at the end of the bridge, or the start of the bridge, excuse me. And they said they just saw an old guy in a flannel shirt walking around. Flannel shirt guy's already been identified and everything like that. They said that he did look a little weird and stuff, but that's it. And apparently Libby's father saw a flannel shirt guy in this area. And that's when he addressed him. But apparently flannel shirt guy saw bridge guy in this area. Now, I know a lot of people believe that bridge guy went from here and came all the way back and then was actually seen, I believe, right here. Now, I don't know if that's true. I truly believe that bridge guy went right here and went straight to the cemetery, got in his car, and drove right out into, the city, and got on the exit and disappeared. That's what I think. I think he went through the cemetery. I know they're looking for a vehicle that was at the CPS building that day. I know that, they're trying to do everything they can to find that car and everything, but I think he was at the cemetery. That's just my own opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong. I know people get upset about things, when you're assuming, but, I assume that the killer was parked at the cemetery. It's a clean shot to where the murder scene is. He had a clean getaway. Nobody's going to be able to see him on that side and everything like that. What gets me is that how he's so calm during the whole situation. That's what gets me so upset, because, you're literally committing. This is a horrible crime. This isn't just a random murder or something. Like, this is horrible, horrible. All crime's horrible. Don't get me wrong, but you guys know what I mean. 2 little girls, 13 and 14 years old. I mean, that's a, worst crime somebody can commit, when it comes to babies and stuff. 2 little girls who never harmed a soul, about to be murdered for no reason at all, and you're about to commit this crime. You are. So every time I see that video of bridge guy walking towards them, he has his mind made up right then and there. I think when he walked back to make sure nobody was around or anything, and started walking towards him, his mind was made up. He knew what he was about to do. He's heading right for him, because he's moving in that video. I know we talked about this 100 times, and I'm sorry I repeat myself, but he's moving really fast in that video. Yeah, he has his hands in his pockets. He's very comfortable. The way he's walking between the gaps and everything like that, there's no edges or anything you can hold on the sides of that bridge. With gaps and the loose boards and stuff like that. But he was moving totally fine. Totally fine. That's what made me think he was there, either been there before or was there for a long time. Because we all heard the one situation where, he met that, apparently he was right here. He met someone, the property owner of this place right here, said she went to walk her dogs around 12:30 p.m. and met bridge guy right here, and said they had a small conversation. She was the one that said that he did not have blue eyes. He had the red strawberry blonde or the reddish mustache or something, but definitely did not have blue eyes. And apparently in that description that was taking place, I don't know if it's 100% true, if this person did really do this, what would I say? A statement. But this is just things that I've overheard and seen on other videos and stuff, that this property owner right here saw bridge guy right at the end of the bridge area when she was walking her dogs. She said they had a small conversation. After about 10-15 minutes, she started walking back to her property. Bridge guy was seen walking back towards the other side of the bridge. And then nothing until, of course, 1:30, when Abby and Libby were were dropped off. Now, apparently, like I said before, Bridge Guy was seen around this area, by a 16-year-old who saw Bridge Guy, described him to the T, said that he looked kind of creepy and everything like that. Now, I was like, that's kind of hard to believe. I don't know if that statement is true or has been confirmed by any witnesses or anything like that. Other videos that I've seen, that he was seen around this area by a 16-year-old who was a little creeped out by him. Now, I believe that it's definitely possible because I think Bridge Guy got to the cemetery, or he could have parked over here at first at the CPS building for a minute, or anywhere else around here. And then he decided, you know what? He went to go find a spot where he knew he was going to do it at, found it over here, saw the cemetery was in range, then he reparked his car and got over here. I mean, that's a possibility. I truly believe he parked his car there from the get-go. He knew where he was going to do it at. I mean, he wasn't worried at all. And like we said earlier, I mean, Cheyenne and Cheryl, how they couldn't hear the screams because, I mean, there's no buildings or anything around. Someone screams at the top of their lungs, you're going to be able to hear that, even from here. Even if they were like over here, you would still hear from over here because there's no buildings around. You're going to be able to hear two little girls screaming, But I do believe they were trying to get away at one point, and I think that's when Libby's shoe came off. I think that's when, he probably did like flip out, because he wasn't in control anymore. I mean, if you notice in the tone of his voice, he's very in control. If he really did wash their feet, he wasn't worried about anything. He wasn't worried about nothing. He wasn't worried about getting caught because he knew nobody was going to see him. He's been out there all morning. He got there, let's say 10 o'clock. Okay. Libby and Abby weren't dropped off until 1:30. The videos that she posted was at 2:06 and 2:12 was when the audio recorder was taking place. Is that right? Am I correct on that? That the audio of Bridge Guy was recorded at 2:12 p.m. The photo she posted of Abby on the bridge, because this was Abby's first time on the bridge, was at 2:06 p.m. That's a short time period. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Amen, brother. You're sad. No, they're not sorry, man. They're not sorry, Misty. They're not sorry at all when they commit these crimes. They're not sorry. Yeah, it's real sad. The Klein guy played no hand in the abduction and killing of Elizabeth Lyric Abigail and Libby. If you can't put them in that video, you must have the wrong person. Red Zeppelin, that's possible. I mean, we don't know who did it. We don't know who did it. We're putting that, at the end of the day. That's what we're talking about. I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm saying what I think is possible. I mean, he was definitely there. He was supposed to meet her that day, right? I mean, seems kind of fishy to me, Red Zeppelin. Red Zeppelin, that's a cool name, though. Okay, thank you, King. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hey, Lisa, how you been? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. You guys are all saying hi to Lisa. That's awesome. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's what I've been thinking. I mean, the Klein, definitely with that transcript release, we really don't know. He did seem pretty confident that he had nothing to do with it. He voluntarily gave his information, gave his, DNA, hair sample, lie detector test was inconsistent, which means he did lie when he was asked that question. But you got to understand, if you get asked that question, you're going to be nervous anyways. But he could have been lying because he probably did have some kind of information or actually killed Abigail and Libby. It's hard for me to pinpoint Keegan when I look at Bridge Guy's photo at first, but then again, I don't know what he looked like back in 2017. Now, the only problem is why I was saying it's a possible where it could have been Tony is because, like I've always said, I think that Bridge Guy is older than 40 years old. I've always thought that, and I still think that. Yes, Keegan is definitely a high possibility. Okay. Definitely a high possibility, especially with everything coming out and all. I totally get it. But when I saw the interview with LE, when, you know, the 5-year anniversary was going on and everybody was talking about it and stuff, when they did LE's interview, Doug Carter interview, I'll say that, you know, he said the only thing he's going to talk about Keegan is that they got a lot of information about that. That's all he's going to say. Okay, that makes sense. You know, you definitely got some information. I saw where the detectives were asking Keegan, you know, Keegan said, you know, you're bad at your job, you know, basically trying to persuade to where it could have been his father's a possibility. You know, there's so many different theories. There's so many different ideas. But for some reason, I do believe within the next month or two, we're going to have this son of a bitch. You know, well, not we, but the cops. I think that this man, he might even turn himself in. You know, he might even say, you know what? Today I'm going to turn myself in. I did a horrible crime. You know, the family's been suffering for 5 years. I'm going to turn myself in. That's what I hope he does. You know, I hope he turns himself in. I mean, I don't know how you can live with something like that for 5 years. I don't know how you can even do something like that to begin with, but I mean, you know, and the thing is, I think he can really care less, to be honest with you, but it pisses me off knowing the situation. You know, he just doesn't have a care in the fucking world, you know, and I don't understand it whatsoever. I don't understand it. You know, I'll never understand it. But, you know, I mean, with these transcripts, I thought maybe we got something going here. I was trying to get your guys' feedback more than talking about it, you know, but I just want to know what you guys truly think about this. Something will have to happen soon. Keegan's time will be up. His trial starts in September, I believe. Yeah, his trial. I thought it was in May. I thought it was April, actually. Let me get my phone. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I thought it was April. Hold on, I'm still alive. You guys can come say hi, though. You guys can come say hi to our supporters. They asked about you at the beginning of the video. They were like, how's your queen doing? You can come say hi to them. I told them about the case you're working on. Keegan Klein's trial. April 14th. Oh, it's set for September 26th. You're right. I do apologize. September 26th. It was pushed from April to September. So you're right, Duke. That was my fault. I thought it was still in April. I didn't know it got pushed. But what are you guys thinking? I mean, really, with this transcript coming out, what are you guys truly thinking? I mean, do you think the Klein's gang can be involved? Do you think it's somebody else? Do you think it could be random? What do you guys really think? You guys have been following this case for 5 years, or, you know, for a while, if it hasn't been the full 5 years. You guys know a lot about this case. Be honest. What do you guys really think about this case so far? Where do you think the possibility really lies? I spent a little too much time on this. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. I really do. I do too. I mean, it's one of those things, you know, that is just like, you know, I just don't. Honestly, it's a horrible case. It truly is. This is a horrible crime, horrible situation. But look how many people really care. Look how many people really offer their support, do everything they can. They're very much involved. You know, they come home from work after working all day, and at the end of their night, they're looking into the videos, looking on at the transcripts. And that's what's amazing, is how people can really help and do whatever they can to connect with each other when it comes to something like this. Let's say the case gets solved today. Let's say right now they arrest the guy. It doesn't mean tomorrow that we're going to stop. We're always going to be talking about Abby and Libby, right? They caught the guy. Great. But this means that we're all going to go to another one. All of us. Okay, we got Delphi solved. We got him. It's done. The guy turned himself in or whatever. It's solved. Okay, it's over. We're still going to be talking about Abby and Libby, but everybody that helped support this case and been involved in it, everybody like, okay, let's go look into this case together. Everybody. Okay, we got this one. Okay, let's all go look into this one together. That's how it helps. I mean, that's what's amazing. Everybody's united, trying to help, support each other, listen to each other. You guys give each other ideas, everything. You know, it really is awesome. I'm confused. I just wish they'd catch whoever did this to these poor girls. Sorry, Lady M, if I confused you. That's not what I meant to do. Clients are involved. Police think it's Tony. I think it's both of them. They may be a third. It's hard to tell, but they are the center of it. Yeah, they definitely have a lot of attention right now. The Klein family, I believe, so far. Misty, I believe there's something there for sure. You know, I mean, I agree with you, you know. The thing is, I mean, what I'm worried about is this person attacking again. That's what I'm really worried about. I mean, this guy, he's gotten away with it for 5 years. I mean, and yes, I'm not saying he watches my videos, but he does stay informed by other YouTubers who are very much involved. The Down the Hill podcast. What else? True, a Real Chill. Gray Hudges. I'm sure he watches those like crazy. You know, I'm sure he does quite a bit. Bridge Guy does. If it's not the Kleins, I mean, you know, but I think he's very much involved in watching this stuff. And I don't think he gives two damns. You know, he would have turned himself in if he really cared. You know, he would have turned himself in, but he doesn't care. I want to see this case all the way through. I just want to know all the details and how and why. They should make a movie out of this. I mean, nowadays they make a movie about everything. I mean, I don't know if I could watch a movie about something like this, honestly. And when I watch The Green Mile, when 2 little girls died, it gets me, you know, pretty upset. I don't know if I'd be able to do it, but I see what you're saying. You know, it's definitely a case that should be out there for more people to know about. I mean, there's so many people that know about this case. There's millions of people involved trying to really stay informed and stay in touch when it comes to this case. And guys, I do apologize that, you know, we don't do a lot of videos when it comes to this case as much, you know, more than we should. It's just we got to get more information. You know, I don't like repeating myself, but what I really like is how everybody really who supports this case, even if they don't watch, I'm not saying my channel, but everybody that's involved in this case, you know, I know the family is very grateful about how people are so involved and so touched by this case. You know, I know it brings them hope and happiness somehow, but they deserve justice. You know, like I say, I don't think they'll ever have peace, but they'll have justice when, you know, it comes. And I believe it's going to happen very soon. I truly do. Close my eyes and listen to KK and seeing BG. It seems like to me BG looks more like TK and the voice is KK. Just my thoughts. You didn't confuse me, King. That's the thing, you know. That's what I see too. Like when I see Bridge Guy, I see more Tony than I do Keegan. But I got to remind myself that he is far away and that I don't know what Keegan looks like back in 2017. I don't know if the photo that we have as a thumbnail, if that photo was taken in 2017 or what, you know, because the police did say that Bridge Guy is between the years of 18 to 40. You know, at first they didn't say that. They say he's 18 to 40, but he may look younger than what he really is. And that is, I truly believe that's very possible. I don't know why, but people look younger than what they really are. The reason why I say that is because, like, when I look at photos of, like, my uncle and stuff when he was in high school and his friends, they all look like they were, like, 30 years old, right? When I look at myself in high school, I'm like, I look about, you know, 16, 15 when I graduated, you know, maybe 17. Now, when I go by a high school, these kids look like they're, like, 10 years old in high school. So people do look younger nowadays than what they really are. I don't know why, but that's just, it just is, you know? So that definitely is a possibility, you know, when the police say that, you know, Bridge Guy may appear or look younger than what he truly is. You know, it's definitely a high possibility. People worldwide know about this case. Absolutely, Missy, worldwide. I mean, it really is. And that's the thing, you know, when this case finally does come to an end and when they do solve it, which will happen very, very soon, I truly believe, then everybody that supported this case is going to group together and go on and help each other find another one and catch another person. Just like, oh man, what's the name? I haven't did a video about them. The 2 little girls that were murdered in a somewhat situation. What's his name brought him up earlier? Lyric and Elizabeth. Where was that case? Where'd that happen at again? Oh man, where did that happen at? So we even did a video about them. Lyric and Elizabeth. Where were they killed at? You guys know what I'm talking about. Not Iowa. Was it Iowa? Idaho? I think it was Idaho. Evansdale. Thank you. Thank you, Duke. Evansdale. That's what it was. Evansdale, Iowa. Okay, Snap. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So after we get Abby's and Libby solved, let's help them out too. I mean, just one at a time, just everybody contributing. I mean, you can do both. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't do both or anything, by all means. I mean, but I think that's what's going to happen, because I really think this case really affected a lot of people to where, they're doing everything they can, and everyone's just going to keep helping one after another, every unsolved case, and at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, as long as they get solved, that's all that matters. It truly does. It truly does. I mean, this case it's been going on for too long. It truly has, with the transcripts and everything, but I'm hoping this transcripts information, like, just basically closes it somehow. I'm just hoping for it to close. I know I keep saying a month or two, but back in January, I said it would be probably over by March or April. Well, I'm looking more towards like May, May or June. That's where I'm thinking right now. I really do. And guys, for those of you, I did receive a donation last week, so thank you so much for that donation. We got to hit the donation alarm. That was the donation alarm. Sorry, guys. I should have warned you, but I got a donation last week, so thank you so much for that donation. Guys, we're going to cut it right now. I didn't realize how long we've been on the live video. I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for supporting Bad Habits and being part of the Bad Habits family and watching this video tonight and your comments. I love communicating with you guys. That's why I like doing live videos, is really to communicate with you guys. Would definitely like for you guys to actually come on Bad Habits. So if you ever want to, by all means, email me, send me a message on Facebook, Bad Habits Kingdom on Facebook or on Instagram. However, I would love for you guys to come on the show. And thank you guys. I know it's been a minute since we did a live video. Lady M, Misty, Duke. I mean, you guys been watching for a while. You guys been Bad Habits family for a minute. So I want to say thank you to everybody. And thank you all that subscribe to the channel. Really, we've been doing a lot of vlogs lately, a lot of funny stuff. So I hope when those are done and uploaded, you guys really enjoy them. It's to really make you laugh. That's why we started vlogging a little bit more. Honestly, I did a skateboarding video. I never skateboarded in my life. So I'll just say I ate a lot of crap. You guys are going to love that one. Horrible situation. Really, I busted myself up. But it definitely is funny. Guys, I really love you guys so much. I love you guys so much for being part of the Bad Habits family. You guys mean the world to me. I hope you guys have a great night. And like I said, man, stay in touch with me. If you guys ever want to come on the show, let me know. I'm going to hit the donation alarm one more time, since we did receive a $10 donation last week. So that was awesome. And I'm going to hit the donation alarm, and then we'll call it a night. I love you guys so much for subscribing and supporting Bad Habits. We got a lot of videos dropping soon, so please hit subscribe. If you could, subscribe. It's free. It's free. All right, I love you guys. Let's hit that donation alarm one more time before we end it. All right, guys, you have a good night. I love you. You guys stay safe. Love your loved ones. And this virus is still out there. Even though they eased up on it, this corona is still out there. So stay safe. And I love you guys. And thank you for all your support. I truly mean that. I love you. You guys have a great night.